Alright, so what is up, guys? This is Fade back here as usual. Alright, so this video is going to be quite a long video, okay? Expected to be 20 minutes plus or around 30 minutes, okay? So today we will be talking about obviously Honkai Star Rail as seen on my screen or your screen here. Alright, so what we're going to talk about today is actually something pretty obvious, I would say, okay, which is the current situation of Honkai Star Rail. Okay, so we all know Honkai Star Rail had a really big issue recently. Okay, is because the amount of HP inflation that is happening to the game environment. Okay, and besides that, one of the problems is power creep. Okay, so power creep is actually not a really rare sign, especially in these types of gacha games, okay? Like compared to Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact. Okay, so in these kind of games, power creep happens very easily because there is HP inflation. Okay, so in order to overcome the HP inflation, you need larger numbers. So in order to like make larger numbers, because these kind of developers, they won't want they wouldn't want to like adjust the stats of your old characters, okay? Like because I don't know what's wrong with them, but I see many companies like they adjust stats of older characters, okay? But I don't know what's the problem with them, okay? So they don't want to like um how do I say, they don't want to adjust old stats, so they need to release like a new character with larger number stats, larger scalings, okay, to overcome the HP inflation issue. Okay, so one of the best examples will be the Herta. Okay, so it's very obvious the Herta is what we call the meta now. Okay, so for those who are not clear about what meta is, okay, meta stands for most effective tactics available. So which means whichever team has the most effective way to fight against the opponent or the enemy, we call it meta. Okay, you don't just simply use meta for any any things or any clears or anything. Okay, it has a specific purpose there. Right. So the current meta we have now is the Herta, okay, and obviously Super Break, Firefly and Rappa and Boothill. Okay, those things are still meta. Facia I'm not so sure. Okay, Facia like fallen off a bit compared to what we have in 3.0. Okay, it's completely a chaos in 3.0 compared to 2 point something. Okay, so the current meta now is, as I said, the Herta, Super Breaks, the 3 Super Breaks and Facial, probably, okay, depends on your investment. Alright, Acheron is kind of usable but not meta because she is no longer the most effective. Okay, 3B is also the meta. Okay, for support units. Okay, 3B and Sunday mostly. Okay, and Aventry is also kind of a meta. Okay, that's how you define meta, which is like the most effective units available and tactics. Okay, so what is the biggest problem now is next patch, which is in 3 days or a bit, I think, around there, this Wednesday, we will have version 3.2. Okay, so 3.2 comes with two new units, okay, which is Casteries, remembrance unit, okay, and who is it, and also Anaxa, which is an erudition unit. They all say for the Herta support. Okay. I forgot to mention just now, another meta is Agalaya. Okay. A lot of people skip Agalaya and they all want Casteries, especially when they have Sunday. Okay. The developers just dropped the largest scam of all times. Okay, I would say a scam of all times because Casteries synergy isn't too good with Sunday. Okay, because like what the biggest like controversial between those two units is because Sunday as a harmony unit. Okay, so for those who didn't watch my previous videos, okay, let me give you a short recap or a short brief on what Sunday does. So first, Sunday is like he give you crit rate, okay, crit rate and damage boost, right? So where is it? I remember it's somewhere here. Like it says it boosts your crit rate by 20%, I think. Where is it? It's somewhere here. Yeah, this one. Alright. So when using skill increases the target's crit rate by 10%. Okay, so it gives you the crit rate. Okay, that's first. Second, it gives you damage boost. Okay, at level 1 it gives you like 40%, right? When you have a member sprite. Like a summon technically. Okay, a summon. So people like Topaz, Castaris, Agalaya, Jingyuan, Lingsha can all take these buffs. Okay, nothing wrong. And allow them to take immediate action. Okay, so next, the ultimate. Okay, so it regenerates 20% of max energy and gives you like a crit damage based on his own crit damage and a certain amount of fixed value. Okay, so that's technically a thing. And the turn decreases at himself. Yep. So that's technically all he provides. Okay, and he also dispels one debuff. Right. So the controversial between these two characters is if you pay attention during the special program, or if you guys didn't watch at all, Castaris mechanics are like Acheron and Fei Xiao. Okay, this means her ultimate doesn't require any energy at all. Right, so let me show you an example. Acheron. Okay, so Acheron here, right, her ultimate. So how you're going to charge the ultimate is when you stack debuffs onto the enemy, she gets one stack. And at 10 and at 9 stacks, okay, you get to use the ultimate, and then after that you start restacking it. Same goes to Fei Xiao. Okay, so Fei Xiao's ultimate also requires you to have like 6 stacks. Okay, which is like you need to trigger through 2 follow-ups. If you have E2 Fei Xiao, it's only required once, okay, to get 1 charge. But if you're at E0, you need 2 follow-ups to trigger like 1 stack. So she can hold up to 12 stacks, but you can activate at 6 stacks. Right? So this is how they technically work. And guess what? Castaris works exactly as they are. So what does this means? Means that the biggest point of biggest point sales of Sunday, one of the most beneficial function, which is the 20% max energy, is completely wasted. Right? I mean, it's not too. It might not sound too bad for some people, but from a perspective view, like losing such an important function, especially when you're giving buff to a DPS, is extremely rookie, right? It's an absolute loss, right? So this is also the controversial between like people complaining Castaris didn't work well with Sunday. I mean, if you want to pair like Castaris with Sunday, it works, okay, but the problem is you need to have E1. So what does the E1 do? When he uses skill, the target character can ignore 16% of enemy target's defense to do damage, and the summon can ignore 40% of enemy's target defense to do damage. Right? So this allows like the summon to like technically ignore almost half of the enemy defense. Okay? So yeah, if you don't have E1, I would really rather say, okay, don't put Sunday in Castaris team. Okay, and I would rather you put Remembrance Trailblazer than Sunday. And that as serious, okay? Because why? Okay, the only reason I would tell you not to put Remembrance Trailblazer into your Castaris team is when you have either a really terrible phone that can't support too many numbers, like it's literally started lagging when you are playing Acheron, or your PC is like so not up to date. The moment you use Acheron, it starts dropping frames a bit or lagging. Okay, then don't put Remembrance Trailblazer inside the team. Okay, because all the numbers will literally make your PC or your phone crash, and I'm not joking. Alright, you can already see from all the beta videos how they record. Everything is smooth until they apply the buffs, and the dragon starts spitting. Okay, and the moment it starts spitting, their device started lagging. Okay, remember how the developers also say when they first developed Acheron ulti, their PC crashed. So the same thing is going to happen here. Yeah, for those who don't have that good specs. Okay, so what does Mem do actually in this team? Okay, compared to Sunday, is because first Mem can provide everyone a certain amount of crit damage. Okay, and how do I say? As long as it exists on the field. Alright, the crit damage buff is there. Compared to Sunday where you have to cast ulti or skill on it. Okay? So as long as she exists, she gives crit damage buff. Alright? Okay, next is the the skill, mem skill. Okay, so the skill is called Let Me Help You, which is when the bar charge reaches 100. Okay, she can immediately take action and advance an ally by 100%, which is allow them to immediately take action also, and also gives them mem support for 3 turns. So what does this thing do is once you have mem support, for every instance of damage you dealt, you deal equal to 30% of original, like true damage equal to original damage. 30% of true damage equal to original damage. Yeah, sorry. Okay. When using this ability on this unit, cannot trigger the action advance effect. Right. So there's also another bonus ability, which is when the max energy of an ally target that has mem support exceeds 100, for every 10 excess energy, additional increases the multiplier of the true damage dealt via mem support by 2%, up to a max increase of 20%. Okay, so this talent here technically doesn't work on Castoris, okay, because as I mentioned, Castoris doesn't really like use energy. So therefore, like this thing you can technically just exclude it. Right? So what will Castoris benefit from this? So first, she will able to do additional true damage. Okay, that's one thing. Second, she get um crit damage buff. Okay. Third, she also get action advance once mem hit 100% bar. Okay. So that's technically it, I would say. Okay. So that's technically it compared to Sunday. Okay. I mean the buff Sunday gave is definitely much more. Okay. So it's like Sunday give you crit damage, he gives you crit rate, and he gives you like 40%, which is 80% at max level. Okay. So it's those three things. And also he dispels one debuff. Okay, so that's technically all he gets. If you want a buff Castoris, right? That's technically all. So you see, like the buffs are kind of like around the same. The buff amounts, okay, like the benefits that they both provide is technically the same. But one of the biggest difference, okay, which also like likes up this controversial, is Sunday is a 5-star unit, limited, and Remembrance Trailblazer you get it for free, okay, and you get it for E6. Yeah, you heard it right. One is completely free. One is where you spend 80 or 90 something. Okay. And then like you might lose 50-50. You might not lose 50-50 and you get the character. Where the other one, all you need to do is just to play story, finish it, do a bit of open world, and then you get E6. Alright, easily built. Yeah, so like imagine if I tell you today, imagine you pull for Robin, and then I tell you like, bro, your Robin doesn't work with your current DPS. Like, how would you actually feel? You will feel disappointed and you might feel probably scammed. Yeah, that's how the current situation is right now. Like, everyone is hyped for Castoris, but at the same time, people who actually like all in on during Sunday, like during that time, okay, and after Sunday they saw Agalaya, okay. So the time a lot of people say like don't pull Agalaya, just go for Castoris because everyone said Castoris is going to be a summon DPS. Okay, so here comes the biggest problem. So now is Sunday doesn't work well with Castoris, and instead, Remembrance Trailblazer works even better compared to Sunday. Yeah. So now Sunday people is like either they continues to use Sunday, maybe you have a summon DPS like Jingyuan, or maybe a Agalaya, okay, or any summon DPS. Alright, then they will start considering using Sunday on them. Okay? Because if you don't have Agalaya, it's like your biggest loss. Okay? Because Agalaya's team is like one of the strongest meta teams right now. Okay? I use like my friend's account Agalaya to like clear many teams. Okay? Or I like E0 S1, except for Agalaya. His Agalaya is E1 S1. Okay? where other members is just E0S1 or E0S0. Yeah. So this is the current situation, and this is somehow what I think a really terrible design for not just the players but also for the whales. Okay, because imagine like they spend so much on Sunday, and then like in the end you said Castoris is like the synergy is not the best with Sunday. And then suddenly like there are beta news leaks saying, bro, Hyacinth is Castoris signature support. Okay, so what about the players who all in Castoris and they don't have enough because they are F2P and they can't get Hyacinth? Then their situation is cooked because like the current best team now is okay. Let me show you. Okay. So what is the current team now is actually okay, imagine this is Castoris. Okay. And what we are going to have is like we put 3B in the team. Okay, let's just imagine this is 3B. Okay, then we put Remembrance Trailblazer and we put Gallagher. Okay, because Gallagher is one of the 4-star obtainable abundance unit. Okay, like the only good 4-star that can hold up the team's healing output. Okay, if you have better options, I mean you can definitely use it like Ho Ho or Luocha or like technically any healer. Okay, but definitely Hyacinth is rumored in beta there to be Castoris' best in slot healing support. Okay, she is abundance. Okay, a rumored. Okay, not so sure yet. But however, already know because you know how the marketing like pattern is like. Okay, they release a character that is not complete team yet, and then they put in another like upcoming news for like the best in slot is for this thing. Okay, so that the same goes for Sunday that time. Because Sunday that time you pull, everyone is saying like, oh, finally Jing Yuan is getting like his signature support. Okay, then the next patch, Agalaya immediately came out, and Agalaya just power crap. Like power crap Jing Yuan. No cap, okay? Literally power crap so many things. Like even though like she didn't do the biggest number, but the fact that she can do such moderate numbers with such speed, okay, it's insane. Okay, wait, I'm going to log in my friend's account. Okay, to like make an example. Okay, hold up. I'm gonna log into my friend's account. Alright. Alright. So we're in his account, okay. So this is his account's current situation. So he got Sunday. Okay, where's Sunday? Yeah. So here is his Sunday. 135 speed. Okay. Signature icon. Traces, relics, everything is like normally built. Okay, and there's the Agalaya. 141 speed. Not too much, honestly. Not too much. Okay. And then signature icon increase base speed by 12. And then traces all max except for the skill. Okay. And then relics kind of mid. Okay, I would say not the perfect. It's just mid. Okay, it's mid artifacts. Okay, I mean relics. Yeah, and then E1. This is the only thing I convinced. Okay, I convinced him to pull for. Okay, and so Agalaya Sunday, remembers Trailblazer. Okay, where we can get E6. We'll just do a story. Ho Ho E0, S0. Okay, so like let me just give you an example. Like on how great Agalaya is. Okay, so we all know Reaver is being an absolute asshole when you're fighting it. Okay, so we are going to enter with all techniques. Okay, so here, right, so all enemies are delayed by Trailblazer's technique by 50%, so this means we all get to action first. Yeah, so here I'm going to summon the skill. So both of them, alright, have the technically is all the buff they can receive. So it's like 26.8, and then Brocade, which is the Lycone effect, 18%, And then this is the um what is it again? This is the relics, the 4-piece relic side effect, and memory imprint doesn't really matter. A body brewed by tears, which is the talent effect. Okay, so here I'm going to basic, and then Sunday is going to advance, and then he's going to out. Okay, this is a small mistake here, which is like I should have wait for Mem to take action first, then only out. But it's okay. Here we did a small detail. We apply onto the Memo sprite, which is like a garment maker. So, but they both can obtain the Mem's like support effect. Okay, here I'm gonna out. Alright, and then I'm gonna attack. Alright, so as you see, 319k. Okay. I mean, obviously there are a ton of buffs, okay, but however, keep in mind that she haven't reached 6 stacks yet, okay? She haven't reached 6 stacks. During 6 stacks, then her speed and attack will be at maximum. Alright, here I'm gonna out. Alright, then Government Maker will attack, I get 1 stack. And then here I'm gonna basic, and I'm gonna out. I'm gonna skip. Alright, and then here I'm gonna advance again. And then I'm gonna out. I'm gonna advance. And then I have 5 stacks now. Okay? Take a look at the speed. It's 233 speed. And I'm not even at 6 stacks yet. Okay? And look at my Government Maker. There's like 300 something speed. Okay, so like the moment when Agalaya was released, everyone is like not really hyped for it. But now like I see the value of Agalaya is like her speed is insane. Okay, that's one thing. And next, like you technically the only thing you need to care on her is whether if she can crit or not. Alright? Bro, just look at the attack percent, bro. Just look at the attack, bro. It's almost like what, 6,000 attack? Like bro, this thing 2,853. This thing is from the talent. This thing is from talent. And take a look at like all of the buffs. Like the only thing I get is like 12% with 12%. And that's technically all. There's like 24. And then when all sums up because of talent, and then you get like I get like almost like 6,000. Yeah, so you see 491,000. Okay, some people might think like this is a small number, a moderate number. Okay, but look at the action bar on the left. Okay, just keep your eye on that. Okay, like see how fast she is going to take action later. Okay, here goes the Garment Maker. Okay, here goes Agalaya. Okay, Trailblazer, I'm gonna skill. And then here goes Garment Maker again. Okay, Sunday is gonna advance them both, and then I'm gonna out. And then here I'm gonna basic. And then Garment Maker will, yeah, and then he take action, and then here I'm gonna out. Because I don't want to waste energy, it's E1. Alright, get energy back. Okay, so here we have a look. The energy is 95, yeah, as expected. So here I can skill. Okay, then I'm gonna skill again. Okay, they take action again. Alright, I'm gonna take action, ma'am. Alright, advance. Do it again. Alright, slash down. Oh, keep in mind the Reaver have like 40% of damage reduction here, so it's like smaller numbers here. Okay, now he's going to do it. Alright. Okay, then we basic here, we out. So the stacks won't go to waste. Alright, as you can see, like 2 of the duplicates are gone. Okay. Okay, here I'm going to advance. Okay, and then I'm going to take action again. Okay, then Sunday out, get back energy, and refresh the stacks. Okay, here, I'm gonna slash again. 451,000. Okay, I'm gonna out again.
生命脆弱如丝。
Alright, phase 2. Alright, we're on the 28th cycle. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna heal.
在
Alright,
荒凉
basic.
纤毫毕现，
Let me get the
这就是
action.
你可以
Skill. Alright, Sunday
冥
advance.
界冥界，
生
Basic.
命脆弱如丝。
Out.
相信我吧，
I'm forced to
无所不能。
action advance. Okay. If I don't action advance, then he'll like take action and then
荒
he'll
凉
just
纤毫毕
use the
现，
clone to attack.
万里千命运由此交织，生命脆弱如丝。
属神恶鬼，有老子
Okay,
走
we got
你！
the energy. Alright, 27th turn.
在紧张，荒凉纤毫毕现。我会说，还有我在。
我将苦往离身，
好
以此护你左右，领你远行。
生命脆弱如丝，
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna out
万
again.
里千命运由此交织，
I'm gonna attack again.
荒凉纤毫毕现。
Yeah, so that's all. Like, even though like it seemed like I take a lot of action, but I only took up 3 cycles. So this is for Reaver, and we all know very well who, like, when it comes to Reaver, we all know very well who, like, they are trying to promote. Okay, without a doubt. Okay, let me tell you the answer straight. They are promoting the Herta, okay? Along with who? Along with 3B. And guess what? Agalaya still dominates it, okay? I mean, probably, like, the stats are not that good, okay? And maybe it's like, it's not perfect build, or I did a lot of copium mistakes during the run, okay? But overall, you can see, if I min-max everything, I can do it within 1 or 2 cycles, okay? Where they are trying to promote Herta and 3B. This is also one of the reason when Sunday, initially, anyone who got Sunday with the signature icon, I will highly encourage them to put Agalaya. Okay? And guess what? Everyone skipped Agalaya. And then they all say Castoris is also a summon DPS, okay? So it might be very how do I say? It might be also like good synergy with Sunday. But guess what? They just released Castoris that requires you to have like a certain new energy value instead of like you pairing with Sunday. Yeah, so cope, bro. Cope. And literally, and those, like, for those who skip 3B, okay, because I know 3B is really OP and my account don't have it, it's just I don't like the character. Okay, then I will have to find alternate solutions for it. Alright, so for those who skip 3B and you're pulling for Castoris, all I can say is literally good luck. Because I don't know what to say. It's literally good luck. Because if you want to put Sunday inside, yes, you can. But if you don't have a signature icon, your skill points might eventually run out. Okay, let's say if you want to put like both Remembrance, Trailblazer, and you put Sunday inside. You put both. Okay, so then another problem comes in. Your dragon is not going to have enough HP to let you keep advancing action. Okay, to speed all the fire. It's not enough HP. Alright, unless you put double healer. Like, Gallagher is one solid option, that's for sure. Okay, and then like they are giving Luocha or Rame next patch as a free 5-star. Okay, so it's either you get a Rame or you get a Luocha. I know a lot of people have been shitting on Luocha about saying like Luocha sucks this and that. Okay, but low key, I'm gonna say, okay, legit, he is one of the good healers. Okay, among all the other abundance units. Okay, where like it doesn't mean like I say Gallagher, Ho Ho, or Lingsha is bad. Okay, but Luocha have a mechanic where like the others isn't as good as at it. Okay, so his mechanic is really simple. He can auto cast his skill when a character HP becomes critical. And it also cleans their like debuff and get 1 stack. So at 2 stacks of your Abyss Power, you immediately like cast a few where when your character attacks, everyone just heals. Okay? So that's the value there. Like, for Castoris team, he's definitely good. Okay? I mean, if you have like an E6 Gallagher, then just forget what I said. Okay, but if for example, for those people, somehow, in a way that you don't have Gallagher, like you don't have E6 Gallagher, you don't have E4 Gallagher, you don't have E2 Gallagher, you don't have Gallagher, and then the only thing you come closest is like Bailu, and then we all know how shitty Bailu is, because her heal is RNG, and then like besides heal, the only thing she does is revive. Okay, revive one random ass teammate, but that doesn't really matter anymore, because the moment you get Castoris, she's completely useless. Okay, her special point of sales went completely useless. Okay, then the only thing you might want at that time is either you have a Ho Ho, you have a Luocha, or you have a Lingsha, and that's all. Okay, and Luocha will do the job really well. It's actually pretty simple. I would say it's that as simple. He heals a ton. That's all. Because that's what you need in the team, in the Castoris team. You don't need too much of a complicated shit. You just need to heal, be a heal bot. That's all. Okay, enough speed, enough heal. That's all. Alright, so let's see level 8. Okay, this is his level 8 skill. Restores the target ally HP equal to 56% of his attack, plus 710. Okay, so what is the attack of the Lord channel? Okay, so 2542. Half of it will be 1000. Let's assume 1250. Another 710, we are going to get like 1.9k. Alright. Okay, also depends on the light cone. Okay, some light cone have like healing, outgoing healing boost. Okay, and also the like body piece you are also wearing. So here we are going to assume 44.5. Okay, so just now how much did we say again? It's like thousand. I will take it as 1900. Okay, 1900 divided by 100 times 44.5. Okay, so we get another 845. Okay, so we're going to end up with like 2000 plus healing. Okay, keep in mind this is just a level 8 talent. Okay, and next level we are going to get 58, so we are eventually going to end up with 60. Okay, yeah, so plus yeah, he actually like he heals alternately. Okay, if anyone of it deals damage, so everyone heals like 7% of Lord Char's attack plus 93. Yeah, so the field also heals, like when you take action, it heals the attacker 80% of his attack. So altogether it's like he heals a ton. Okay? He heals a ton. Like literally. Just all you need to do is just to put him there. And then like he auto heal, you get 1 stack, and then you skill, you get 1 stack. Yeah, then you technically eat. Yeah, you're technically done with the team. Okay. So this is like the current Starry situation. Okay, back to the title. I mean I'm off topic of title a bit too far. Okay, so the current situation of Honkai Star Rail is actually like whether it's from player side or content creator side. Like how should I say this? It's like 玩家只会盲目跟风，就是没有自己的自主判断。It's like players are following the trend. Like whichever content creator says anything, they just follow. Like they don't have their own, like their own thoughts, or like and their own original like idea of getting anything. Okay, especially those players who play for meta, like me. Okay, I almost ruined my account. All right, this MOC, because of how toxic it is. Okay, so there's one of my friend's account. I asked him to pull for Agalaya the moment he got Sunday. Okay, so then he can, like, his account can survive for at least like 4 or 5 patches, because he have the most premium team in one of the most premium teams in the whole game. Okay, compared to mine, where mine is like a complete piece of junk. So like if everyone just take the casual mind thought to play the game, like it won't be like the problem won't be too big. Dead honest, it won't be too big. But why is the problem so big is actually when players start playing end game content like MOC Pure Fiction and Apocalyptic Shadow, okay, this is where all the complaint comes in. Because, like, compared to 1.0, we don't even have anything called Pure Fiction or Apocalyptic Shadow. We only have Forgotten Hall, and it's only 10 floors. Is it 8 or 10? I forgot. But it's definitely not 12. Okay, dead ass. So like now people are like, they don't know how to make their own decisions. They don't want to read about the character's mechanics. Okay, I met a content creator before, specifically from Chinese community, not China but Taiwan. Okay, so that time what happened is, during that time I was on his stream, and then he did something really goofy. Okay, what did he do? He put the Herta with Sunday and no erudition character. And then I was like, bro, the are you doing? And then he's like, he have no idea, because he doesn't read like character description and mechanics. Okay, like the current game situation now is like so cancerous. Okay, it's like so damn similar to Tower of Saviors, which is another mobile gacha game I played. Okay, the community is technically the same there, because the current environment is like so fucking inflated. Okay, like the HP of the enemy is like extremely high, and then the damage is like somehow extremely high. But if the characters, like, no, not characters, if the players don't get the unit they have, then they can't clear. Then they will try to find alternate solutions. Where when you try go down with older units, okay, for example, let me see, if they quit on 1.0 and they come back in 2.0 or 3.0, then they are completely cooked. Because what you have in 1.0, you have Jingliu, you have Blade, you have Daniel IL, okay, you have Doctor Ratio, okay, you have Seal, and then Yanqing, okay, Jingyuan, okay, Himeko, who else? Argenti, I guess, okay, and who else? Rame, Bronya, okay. How many doesn't really matter. What it matters more is actually your DPS. Okay, and who else? Kafka dot joke. Okay, preservation. Japart. Okay, Fushen maybe. I don't know. Okay, and then abundance Bailu. Okay, Ho Ho, maybe Locha. Yeah, and then remembrance doesn't even exist back in version 1. Okay, so you can see like how cooked you actually are, especially for those who quit 1.0. So if you came back, the first thing you want to do is save all your asteroids, okay, and then wait for a decision where you yourself think is beneficial to your own account. Okay, if you are the kind of aesthetic players where you play like, no, this character is so good, it's so beautiful, I want it, I'm going to E6 it, and then the moment comes where you can't beat the content, okay, you can't blame anyone because it's your own choice. Okay, just like me, I accidentally stacked on the light cone, and then accidents happened. My dear light cone came out, and then my friend helped me to get the 5-star character. So I wasted 2 guarantees on this banner. Yeah. So yeah, guess what? Like, managing your own in-game currency is actually a really important thing, okay, as a player, because it's your account, your own responsibility. Not every time there is going to be a people who's going to sweep and clean up your ass, bro. I'm lucky to have a friend that actually to help me carry and solve my problems at the very last second. Okay, I'm glad to have people like this around me. So thank you very much to the owner of this account who actually sponsored me on my day. Okay, I mean, even though it's just 5 pulls, but it still meant a lot to me. Okay, at least it didn't kill my sanity. Right, so next, back to the topic, the current situation. So the current situation is like, if you want HSR content, you either like watch those content creators who actually teach you bit by bit, or who actually explains everything to you, or you do your own homework. Okay, because power creeps happens like patch by patch. Like everyone say it's unpredictable at this point. but I would say no, it's completely predictable. Okay, the only thing you need to do is first is like save your airstrikes. Second, build a premium team. By premium, I literally mean like the play style of your whole team. For example, you are playing Super Break, okay, like Firefly or Boot Hill, or maybe even Rappa. Okay, then what is your premium team going to look like? First, you're going to have Rame. That's definitely a must. Next, you're going to have Fugue. Okay, Fugue is optional, or you can have Harmony Trailblazer. Okay, then lastly, you are going to have like Gallagher or Lingsha. That's what you call a premium team. Alright, everything is dedicated to your one specific playstyle, which is Super Break. Okay, and for example, if you are playing Facial, so there's not much signature support for Facial, but rumored Cypher is going to be a signature support for Facial. So it's going to be Facial, Aventurine for now. Okay, for now, I don't want to talk too far. Robin, okay, Robin. So there's three, and then the last one you're going to put another Hunt character, which is like Topaz or Hunt March. That's all. So this is like why you have to do your own homework when you are playing these kind of games. Okay, because not as I said just now, not everyone will be there to sweep and clean up your ass. Okay, I've seen many people like complaining this and that. Okay, like literally here and everywhere, like literally any game, anywhere, on any social media platform, there is always people complaining this kind of shits. Okay, so I'm going to put my take here. For those people who said you can't clear this or that, okay, there are multiple situations that you are currently doing. Okay, next, no, first is you like to immediately like spend your airstrikes as long as it hits 160, which is like you like stacking, regardless of like whether you are on a guarantee or not on a guarantee, which is me. I'm that kind of people. Okay, but on certain games I don't do that, and you all know very well what game that is. All right. Next, they are the kind of people who don't look at character infos. They just pull depends on character appearance. It's like they are finding a girlfriend or a boyfriend, but they don't want to understand the background. They just want the person. Depends on appearance. Okay, love at first sight. Yeah, that's technically the word you use for it. All right. So yeah, that's the current situation of the community. Is like everyone is like hearing this and that from the content creators, like for example, who is good, who is good, who is good, and then the moment they pull it, and then in the future suddenly it's like, oh, this is not good, no synergy, nothing, and then they start complaining. Like, bro, do your own homework. Just read the goddamn text on the character's skill description. It's not too hard. I mean, it might be an essay, it might be a burden, but at least you wouldn't waste like 80 or 90 pulls to get a character that you are completely clueless about. And you don't know what the fuck is going on. Alright? Yeah, welcome to the current situation of this thing. Yeah. Some people doesn't even know like Acheron needs to have like nihilistic characters in the team. Yeah, and some people like their facial doesn't even have follow up in the team. Okay, they just put like goofy full harmony in the whole team and pocket one DPS where they don't even understand the mechanics of the DPS. Okay, yeah. So this is the current situation of the game. Power creeps happen so fast, yet majority people are not reading skill descriptions. I mean, it is an essay, but in exchange, your time spent here will allow you to understand the game better and be better in the game. Okay, and you can like understand even better where what you want to pull and what you're going to do with the account. Okay, all the facts I say until here doesn't apply to people who want to pull for aesthetics or who are a casual player who don't want to try hard. Okay, and you just want to have a relaxing game, then just play the game. If you are a relaxing and casual player, as you self-mentioned. Okay, my words here are for the people who are a kind of try-hard players but also not that try-hard. Okay, who wants their account to be better. Okay, but who can't make their account better. Like for example, the Herta, like Tribi is now the new universal support unit. Okay, compared to like all the other units. It's not like Robin is not universal. It's not like Sparkle is not universal. It's not like Rami is not universal. But what makes Tribi universal? Okay, I'm going to tell you in through her three things, which is her skill and her out. Okay, so and also her talent. So first, her skill increase all your characters all type breath spam by 12%, which is double at level 10. Okay, so yeah, that's all. Okay, it's this shot for 3 turns. Okay, increase all your characters all type breath spam by 12%, and then the ultimate is like increase damage taken by enemies. Yeah, that's all. That's all. And then when you cast ulti, she cast follow up. And that's all. Yeah, and it refreshes when 3B uses out. Yeah, so it's like that's what makes her universal, right? For people who don't read this kind of paragraphs and essays, they're going to be like, we all know 3B is good, but when we ask why is 3B good, they can't give the answer because they don't understand how the character works. Okay, just like the game I mentioned previously, the players there are also like, yeah, we know like by following your sequence and this and that, yeah, we can clear. But the moment you ask why and how, they can't give you the answer. This is what is currently happening to not just like this game, okay, but to a lot of gacha games. Like they just know this character is OP, this character is good, but when you ask why, how, they can't give you the answer. Because a lot of them don't do their homework. Yeah, welcome to the current situation of this game. Besides power crap and everything, power crap is already so serious, yet players don't want to do their own homework. Alright, and listen to false predictions that are not solid in like about the future. Okay, so the biggest like false prediction is people saying Sunday with Casteris in the future. That moment where Agalaya is still on banner. And guess what? Casteris and Sunday doesn't synergy well. The synergy is not well together. Instead, a free Trailblazer pairs well in Casteris team compared to Sunday. Isn't this a joke? Like, isn't this a joke, guys? Isn't it? It's funny, isn't it? This is like a funny false prediction, as I said. So don't trust like anything too much until it's officially nailed onto the ground or onto the wall by the developers. Because the time Casteris kit is not out yet, all we know about is she is a summon DPS, which is Remembrance. Yeah, she is a summon unit, but guess what? It doesn't use energy. And her dragon, Deathwing, have 165 base speed. And you want to know what 165 base speed is? It's literally like faster than a lot of the supports we currently have. Okay, so and then the kit of Casteris Dragon is meant to be a cannon build, not a speed build. Okay, so what does a cannon build means? You stack all the buffs along with the dragon, and you allow the dragon to detonate all the damage onto the enemies, and then the dragon disappears, and then you summon and repeat the whole process again. That's a cannon build. Okay, instead of a speed build like Aguilaya. Okay, where buffs are consistent, and then she just like keep doing sustained damage. Compared to Casteris, where Casteris is like you apply all the buff, you detonate, that's all. It's two different playstyles, and during that time, people are unaware. Like because Casteris kit is not confirmed yet. All people know is, yeah, as I said, she is a summon DPS. But no one is expecting her ulti to be like Acheron or Facial, where it doesn't take energy at all. It takes a new, different value. Then guess what? The player base is now cooked. Okay? Along with the global passive with the game. Yeah, it's completely cooked. So like they make Bailu completely useless, and then they make Sunday like kind of useless because of the 20% energy god. Yeah, then Sunday would like rather be put in other team like a Jingyuan team, okay, or a Ling E6 Ling Xia E6 Topaz whatever. Okay, if you don't want to put on a summon DPS team, it's alright, but you're just going to lose like another 50% of your damage buff. Like you see, if the target has a summon, then the damage that is increased is further boosted by an additional 15%. So if you don't have a summon, you're going to get 30% only instead of 80%. Yep. So guess what? Sunday's situation now is like the best in slot for him is Aguilera team. Alright, without Aguilera, who is he good to? Jingyuan. And guess what? You can use Jingyuan. But compared to Aguilera, power crap. Power crap happens. Alright? Why is Aguilera better than Jingyuan? Faster, higher numbers, easier to control. Okay, and easier to gather stats. Because let me tell you how easy it is to build Aguilera. Okay, so both are lightning. Okay, first Aguilera. Her Lycon gives her base speed and also crit damage. Okay, so that's one thing, crit damage and speed. Okay, she already have it. And then her talent here gains like speed. Okay, gains speed here, 55% for the Garment Maker. And then there's also a part of her where I remember she converts the Garment Maker speed to her like attack. I forget which part is it. Yeah, I think it's this one. Wait, not this one. Yeah, this one. The bonus ability. So 720% of Garment Maker's attack and 360% of her speed. No, this is like speed converted attack, sorry. Yeah. So she technically has speed. She technically have attack. She have crit. Okay. I mean not really crit. Crit damage, speed, and attack. Yeah. And then if you want extra crit damage, we also have it here already. Yeah. So that's technically all you need to find the character. And all you need to care about is whether if she can crit or not. Like as you see, here you have 6 times of this Lycone, which is like 54% of crit damage. Yeah. And then 54% of crit damage, like it's not added into here yet. So you're going to have 200 something crit damage. And then guess what? Sunday ulti gives you crit damage and crit rate from skill. And then if you put Remembrance Trailblazer, you're just going to get more crit damage. So the only thing you need to care about is whether how much damage she can output and whether if she can crit or not. Because Trailblazer's mem at E1, I think, increases the crit rate of the target by 10%. So Aguilera is going to get 10%, and then Sunday is going to get 20. Then you end up with 30% crit rate. So it's at 90 something percent. But as you saw just now, I have 6k attack, 300 something crit damage. So like that's why Aguilera is so much stronger. If you use Jingyuan, yeah, it's the same, but I don't have a signature icon here. I know a signature icon adds like a ton of crit damage and a ton of damage. But yeah, still like Aguilera here, which is like so much more stronger and power crap compared to Jingyuan. Okay. Yeah, it's not like Jingyuan is not good. Okay, let me just show you the difference. Okay, I'm going to use the same team. Okay, but I'm not going to use Aguilera. I'm going to use Jingyuan. Okay, and to be fair, yeah, it's lightning. Me. Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is a canon Jingyuan build. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do a same.
邻军对阵，时重待机变。给老子滚
！Okay, we use Jingyuan.
再这样我们能行。
Sunday.
明见你进，以此是护你左右，领你远行。
Okay, let me see the stats now. 81% with 381%, but keep an eye on the attack. Compared to Aguilera, we only have like this amount of it. Okay, we're gonna skill and then we're going to out.
该出去。
Okay, here is his complete stat after casting skill, which is like give you attack. So besides like you see the speed is so much slower than Agalaya, and then the attack is like so much lower compared to Agalaya. So this is where power crack happens. Okay, look at the damage. Follow up. Yeah, only 250k. Where Agalaya like easily went 200 something k on the first stack, and then at 6 stacks she immediately doubled Jingyuan DPS. Yeah. So that's power crap. That's what you call power crap. Okay? I mean Jingyuan is still usable, but as I said, meta, not really. Because he's not the most effective tactics available. And if you want to say Agalaya, she's kind of a meta, but still not the most effective. Because we are talking about most effective, not effective. If effective, yes, she will be on there. But no, most effective will be Herta, okay? And then with 3B. And then with another erudition unit, maybe like Serval, Argenti, alright, or maybe J. And then like you put Ho inside, okay? Or some other abundance unit. Then you just like, what? One cycle or two cycle the Reaver. Then that's it. That's the current situation of the game. It's either you get one shot or you one shot them. Yeah, or you can just pull Agalaya and just like do I show speed. Yeah. So anyways, that's all about the current situation in Honkai Star Rail. Okay, I know I did a lot of off topics in this whole duration of recording, but this is really crucial. Okay, as what I'm saying is going to be um I mean, it doesn't really make any impact anyways, but what I'm saying is really important. Players must do their own homework and decision, and to remember to how to take the lose, which is take the L. Okay, it's a gamble. Okay, because the moment Agalaya is out, it's like the same situation as the other game I mentioned before, which is Tower of Saviors. So our rarity there is like we have a black gold card rarity every year. Okay, not every year, like 3 times a year. So every time when I look at all the content creators that I follow for the game, every time they are on a black gold, they will give you advices on the banners. Okay, they will be like, you can pull for the current character, and you will definitely be like, be like having the best gaming experience for like the whole year or maybe half the year, because power crap in the game is much faster than power crap in Honkai Star Rail. Okay, power crap there happens like every like one in a year. You might experience like 3 or 4 times of power crap. Like the damage will grow from millions to billions, and then billions suddenly to like trillions, and then trillions suddenly to like quad and then quintillion. So the power crap there is much more serious than this one. And the content creators will definitely say, if you wanna pull for the current character, it's definitely okay. There's nothing wrong. Okay, for the current environment, it's going to be epic. But for the future proof, okay, like you need to learn how to take the L for future proof. Okay, because there's no such thing as future proof if the moment you start having like power creeps. Okay, so let me show you for an example. Okay, like if I tell you pulling Sunday, no, pulling my day will be a future proof for the team member of Casteries. Okay, will that be solid? Like, might be solid, but at the same time, it might also not be solid. Yeah, it might be solid, but at the same time, it will also not be solid. Because there's no such thing as future proof in this game. If you want to say Genshin or Wuthering Waves, yeah, maybe. But there's no such thing as future proof. I mean, Sunday kinda is a future proof, but only for Agalaya. But who else? Like, bro, who else? Casteris doesn't have good synergy. Like, how is it future proof when you know the team for Casteris is going to be Casteris, 3B, Hyacinth, and Remembrance Trailblazer? Or maybe even the 4th signature support on the team. Okay, or maybe like some people will just put RMC with like my day. Okay, so as you see, there's no such thing as future proof. The only thing you can do now in this game is either you are extremely vertically invested, as one of my friends said, which is Johannism. You can search out for his account there. He do 0 cycles and 1 cycles. Okay, I will put his link in the channel below. Okay, he once said, like, it's either you have a really vertical invested team. Okay, like if you are placing super break, you hyper invest it. It's so vertical that all you have is a thin line, or like you just horizontal invest, but it's just going to take you a ton of money. Yeah, that's the current game situation. Anyways, this is all I want to say about the current situation of Honkai Star Rail. Alright, a lot of off topics, a lot of like takeaways, but yeah, here we are, almost at the end of the video. Okay, for those who listen out through, for those who watched, okay, throughout this whole video, thank you very much for listening to 1 hour plus of yap. Alright, so these below are my thoughts on this game. Not below, above are all the thoughts I have for the current game environment. So I still don't know how long can I still hold on to this game, because the game is definitely not free to play friendly. Okay, and I would definitely not recommend this game to anyone who is like, yeah, who is willing to try this game. I would recommend them Genshin or WoW instead. Like, they're honest. I mean, those two games are a bit tiring, but at least you can enjoy them from a more casual um point of view when you're playing the game. Okay, compared to Honkai Star Rail. Okay, so how not casual is Honkai Star Rail? Everyone is complaining about endgame content. Okay, then you will know how not casual the game actually is. Yeah. So that sums up everything I want to say, like, for the current situation in Honkai Star Rail. So players really have to learn how to take the L. Okay, I mean, there's if you are rich enough, then there's technically no L for you here. Okay, so yeah, if you can't take the L, then you'll start complaining a lot. Okay, but if you learn how to take the L, then you might become better in the future. Yeah, because we all learn from our mistakes. Yeah, there's no such thing as a perfect being or a perfect solution. Every solution has its flaws, but it's whether just the flaws are obvious or the flaws are less obvious compared to the actual solution itself. Alright, so thank you very much for watching this video. It's a really long ass video, much longer than what I expected. Alright, thank you very much, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Oh yeah, and by the way, if you find this video helpful or anything, just help me click the like button, or maybe if you want to share it for more people to let them know. Okay, I mean, even though no one will watch this. Okay, so you can just like help me click the like button. Okay, and then maybe sub if you find it nice. Okay, then yeah, that's all, I guess. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.